Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. It's Chelsea Whittington, and I am so excited today. Why, do you ask? Because it is graduation day. We here at CWIT University have been working with the seniors at the YWCA of Northwest Indiana for the past 5 weeks. 5 weeks of digital literacy. And today they are going to flex their digital muscles. I just realized that I need to connect one more microphone because I want to make sure you hear everything they have to say. And then we are going to watch them march in and strut their stuff.
Got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please feast your eyes on our graduates. Don't they look amazing? That's 5 weeks of hard work, study, scholarship, dedication, and commitment. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2021 cohort of Senior Digital Literacy cohort number 2 of the YWCA of Northwest Indiana. Give yourselves a round of applause. And you may be seated. So the purpose of today's celebration is just that, to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates and what you have done since the beginning of October. For those of you who have tuned in, we've had approximately 10 courses over the month of October where we learned everything from introduction to computers all the way up to smartphones and taking ussies and selfies. So the first thing we're going to do as a part of today's program is to do some reviews so that everybody watching can see exactly some of the things that you learned. On the very first day, we started to learn about the parts of the computer and what types of devices that we could use to successfully get our work done and learn the things that we want to learn. Class, what is this? My laptop. And any particular reason why it's called a laptop? Because it sits on my lap. Now, for those of you who have computers at home, what are those that sit on the table? They're known as desktop computers. Very good. What is the preferred experience when you think about using a computer? Laptop or desktop?
Desktop.
Desktop. Absolutely. You have room, the screen is typically bigger, you're in a more relaxed setting, but laptop computers also serve the same purpose. All right, let's talk a little bit about the parts of this laptop. This area right here is known as what? Monitor or the screen. Very good. This area down here? My mouse. And then right above it is the keyboard. Very good. Now we talked about the mouse could be, using this mouse could be a whole separate class, right? But we have options where we can purchase a mouse that can go with your laptop, okay? Located on the sides of your device are what? Ports. Very good. There are 2 different types of ports. We have one that is our USB port, and the other is for our jack port, right? For our jack port, what are some of the things that we can plug into the jack? Headphones, good. Earphones, microphones, speakers, very good. And all the things that we just named, what do we term that collectively? We call all of that stuff hardware. Very good, very good. And I'm going to grab my USB cord. I was actually charging one of my favorite pieces of hardware as we have our discussion on internet. So many people didn't know, and we learned in this class, that with our smartphones come a detachable plug, leaving us with what? this USB cord, right? And this USB cord, which stands for Universal Service Bus. Oh, you all know it, very good. Universal Service Bus is that cord that keeps us connected to a variety of devices. For example, USB cords come with our digital cameras, right? So once you get your camera and you need to load the pictures from your digital camera to your device, you need your USB cord. True or false? Can I charge my phone using my USB cord and my laptop?
Yes.
Yes, I can. So sometimes if we find ourselves on the go and there isn't a plug in the wall, we just use our USB cord. And in those newer fancy cars, everybody watching, these are retired folks, so they have fancy cars. Those fancy cars have USB ports, right? So now you can grab your USB cord, grab your smartphone, and charge it on your way to wherever you are headed for the day. Now let's talk about internet. You all are such savvy internet surfers. There are 4 different devices that we talked about where you can successfully get on the internet. Anybody want to tell me what some of them are? On which devices? We can use our smartphone, good. Laptop, yes. Desktop, yes. What did I just buy?
A tablet.
I gotta open it. I'm gonna open it this weekend, I promise. Any of those devices can get you on the internet. However, what do we need? A connection, right? So we talked at length about a variety of connections, and this is one of my ways of getting connected. This piece of hardware is what? A hotspot. I have my hotspot through my phone service, but there are many of you who have internet access hardwired at home. By show of hands, see that, viewing audience? They have internet. Seniors, it is important for you to have internet in your homes, and this class has already taken the bull by the horns to make sure that they stay connected to the World Wide Web. So we have our device, we have our connection, and then all we have to do is select a browser, right? What are some of the browsers that we've talked about? Chrome, yes. Firefox, we talked about Internet Explorer, and the one here at the YWCA is known as Microsoft Edge. So I'm going to go over here to our area of when we talk about our computer browsing experience. When you first open your computer, what is this area known as? The desktop, very good. And on the desktop are symbols known as icons, very good. And we talked about how our smartphones are very similar in that our home page has icons on them as well, with software and applications that we have been using over the past 5 weeks. That's amazing. So now I'm going to click on the browser, Microsoft Edge. And now we have taken all of the necessary, I first have to connect to the internet. So how do we know whether or not this device is connected to the internet?
Fan.
Yes, whether or not it has that signal that looks like a fan that shows we have a signal. So right now, my laptop is not connected to the internet. Thank goodness I brought my trusty hotspot. Because sometimes, as we talked about, we go into some places that don't offer Wi-Fi, or we don't feel that it's safe to get on the Wi-Fi, so we have our own access to Wi-Fi. So I'm going to use my hotspot, and by clicking on this world globe, it shows me what Wi-Fi is available. Uncle Gerald, if you wanted to get on my hotspot, what would you need? And it'll be charging with my USB cord, but you don't know that secret number. My password, right? I would have to give you my password in order for you to get on my hotspot. And because we all know that our smartphones are also able to be used as hotspots, I would have to know your password to get on your hotspot. Would you give me your password, or yes or no?
No.
You wouldn't? Oh, okay. See, they know the importance of safe surfing. They also know for all those grandchildren who are watching out there that they will no longer be handing over their devices to you to download games and to download software, because those downloads may contain what? Viruses, exactly. These are computer scholars, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't be more proud of them. If you're just tuning in, we are at your YWCA of Northwest Indiana, located at 150 West 15th Avenue, right here in Gary, Indiana. And I know you're probably wondering, when is the next class? When will the next cohort come through? We will be sharing that information with you during the month of November. But for right now, it's all about these graduates today. So, now that I'm going to get on the internet, I see that there are a list of selections of Wi-Fi. Remember, I got mine from Sprint. So does anybody see my hotspot up there? I think I see it. Sprint, right? Yes. I also see that SMG9, that's my Samsung Galaxy 9 that I've been using, so that means I must have my hotspot turned on my smartphone too. So I have choices today. I think I'm going to go with my hotspot. And because I've been teaching here so long, it already knows my code, so it's going to automatically connect to the internet. Let's see if it works. I sure hope it works in front of all these people who are watching. So now it's saying connected. How do we know that it's connected? Because it's giving me the option to disconnect. All right. So we are now on the internet. I can go to Microsoft Edge, which is our what? Internet browser. That's the browser we're using today because that's the browser of choice here at the YWCA on their laptop. All right. So now while we're waiting for the home page to come up, there are a couple of ways that we talked about when it comes to internet surfing. We can either have the actual address or we can do a search of words, correct? And I will remind you that the internet is your world, that you can research anything, you can find out information. However, Uncle Gerald reminded us in one of our classes that you can't trust everything you read, right? Especially on our social media platforms. So we want to make sure that we are going to websites that have reliable information. They're brands that we trust. Remember when we talk about news and rumors? I say, did CNN say it? Did ABC say it? Did the Washington Post say it? We want to go to reliable sources to confirm the information that we are looking for. Now let's talk a little bit about internet extensions. Extensions are those letters at the end of the web address that tell us what kind of website it is. So if I said .edu, what kind of site would that be? Education. Very good. If I said .com, what kind of site would that be? A company. A lot of my ladies, where are my Dooney and Burke ladies? They're over here. Yes. They like to go to dooneyandburke.com. That's a company. If I said .biz, that's a business. Very good. We won't talk about the ones that we shouldn't go to, right? Those other extensions. But we as savvy web surfers know when they have those types of extensions, we know what type of companies that we are visiting. That helps us with our safe web surfing. So, if I wanted to go to one specific website, I would place my cursor in the address bar, right? And we're going to go to a website we all know and love. Ta-da! Yes, see where that is. A shameless plug on this Friday afternoon. But we know that it's safe, and I wanted to call your attention to the web address, HTTPS, and the S stands for what? Secure. Very good. We want to go to websites that have the S. That's secure. That means that it's being monitored. That means that it's a safe place for you to surf. True or false? It's a great idea to click on all pop-up menus. No. False. No. Why is that? Could be a virus. They start asking you for your personal information. Hackers. They say, what is your phone number? Congratulations, you just won $10 million. And all you have to do is give me the last 4 digits of your social security number. And the next thing you know, somebody's opening a credit card in your name. They're calling your house. They're saying, transfer this money or else. Goodness knows what. And they are always after my seniors. And that's why we take these classes, to keep us safe when we are surfing. The second way that we can surf the internet, as we talked about earlier, are the word searches, right? Somebody give me a topic, something fun for a Friday.
TGIF Friday.
TGIF. Let's see what comes up when we say that. It might be the restaurant. It might be things to do this weekend. And you guessed right. The first thing that came up was the food, the restaurant. And that's how when we search, the most relevant topic comes up. All right? And then we just scroll down to see what other entries come up in our search. But the first one obviously is TGI Fridays. It may be the definition. Yep, right there it says, what does TGI stand for? So it's so much that we can learn on the internet. But I always caution you to definitely surf safely, and you have learned to do that in this class. The last thing we're going to talk about are our smartphones. Our smartphones are small computers, and that's why I was so focused on making sure that we talked about smartphones in this class. By a show of hands, how many of you own a smartphone? Everybody see that? All right. Where are my iPhone users? Okay. And then where are my Android users? You're an Android user. Yes, right. Yes. So we have found over the course of these classes that the screens may look a little different. However, the functions are the same. We've learned how to text. We've learned how to take pictures. If I were to take a picture of myself by myself, what is that called?
Selfie.
A selfie. If I got into a photo with Counselor Fisher, then it would be called a what? An Ussie. Very good. And for those of you who haven't seen their Ussies, make sure you jump on my page because they have gotten very good with their cameras. We've also learned some text language, some fun, quick keys that we can send to the grandkids. Anybody remember what BRB stands for?
Be right back.
Be right back. LOL. OMG.
Oh my God.
Let me see. What else? What's another one we learned? We learned like 15 of them. How about TTYL? Type to you later. Type to you later. Yes. And for those of you who are watching, while they are spewing this off the dome, they actually also have the handouts so that when this class is over, and it's over after today, they can still refer back to their handouts for the parts of the computer. And now it's time for our certification portion of the program. But let's pause and give them a round of applause for your awesome review. You are showing everybody some of the things, just some of the many things that you've learned over the course of the last few weeks. The only thing that I ask that each one of you do for me, and I say it at the end of every class, practice, practice, practice. It makes perfect on anything. I will forget these things just like anybody else if I don't use them on a regular basis. So I want you to do some texting today. Jump on the internet a little while next week. Do some research, and then I'll make sure I contact you in case you want to come back and enroll in the class again, and we can do it all over again. And for those of you who are watching, stay tuned for when we will have these classes for seniors 55 and up at 219-881-9922 at your YWCA of Northwest Indiana. Okay, now it's time for my favorite part. Crystal, are we ready to do the presentations? Okay. I gotta keep the music going. The music is good. So now as I call you up, you'll have your photo taken, and then I ask if you would share something about the class, what it meant to you, maybe what you learned, any feedback, what we could do more of, etc. All right. And our first graduate is Miss Diane Johnson. All right, Miss Diane, what is your reaction to the class?
I learned a whole lot. You know, the reason why I really came, I have a smartphone, but it was kind of difficult for me to use
To operate your smartphone?
and you know, things for the computer that I had trained but really hadn't continued to use.
Yes.
So I learned a whole lot.
Okay.
It's really interesting.
All right. And we're going to frame that up for you, but you hold on to that. We're going to put it in a frame for you. All right? Let's give it up for Miss Diane. In case you didn't hear her, she said it was her smartphone for her. She wanted to make sure that she was operating her smartphone efficiently, and now she is sending me texts. I have her saved in my phone. I have a selfie with her in my phone. So that's proof enough to me she knows what she is doing. I'm going to also call the names of some of our participants who are unable to join us today, one of which is Miss Sonora Hines. Let's give her a round of applause. Miss Hines, we have your certificate. And this gentleman really needs no introduction, but I am going to give him one as he comes. Please give it up for Gerald Patterson. We call him affectionately Uncle Gerald Patterson. He was trending on Facebook last week because his daughter Danielle sent me a personal message saying, please stop teaching my father how to text. Because he got so good at it. He was able to text. He was able to send those little short keys. He was able to send selfies. And he is an all-around computer savvy kind of guy. Congratulations. Yes, I do. We're just taking our picture. Okay, for all your friends and fans who are watching, what would you say about this class?
I found the class very stimulating for a gentleman of my age, and I would like to encourage anyone that wants to come out and attend to further stimulate or learn things about the cell phone and computer. Please do so because it's interesting.
Thank you, Uncle Gerald. And I did not script him, by the way. I know it's scripted. And we are so proud of you. All right, let's give it up for Gerald Patterson. And Danielle, he's going to text you later if you're watching. All right. Our next graduate is Archelle Mckinney. She is unable to join us today, but let's give her a round of applause. This next feisty young lady has become a classroom favorite in that she doesn't mince words. She wants the information, she wants the handouts, and she wants to make sure we're on time, learning as much as we can. Give it up for Miss Frances Barnes. Miss Frances, smile with me. Now I gotta hear what you have to say.
The class was very, very good for me. I had a computer, a laptop that I had not used in the last 3 years. And I was able to go on. It taught me things about my cell phone that I didn't know exist. And one of them was I emailed my grandson with some of the up-to-date language that they shortcut on, and he didn't know who I was. So the class was very, very good for me.
Well, you were good for me. You lifted my spirits as all of them do when I see them because you're so loyal and committed. Congratulations. This next gentleman is well known in our community, and he is living proof that learning never stops. Please join me in congratulating Attorney Lloyd Fisher. Attorney Fisher, you're enrolled in both of my classes, here and IUN. What's the benefit?
The benefit is that I'm able to do some things that I should have learned 25 years ago. As you mentioned earlier in the class, about 1995, when the World Wide Web started coming out, one of my friends told me I should get into it. I didn't. I just didn't learn how to use the computer properly or the cell phone. But now, this has been a good basic background for me to do some things that I'm trying to do after my retirement from practicing law.
All right. Thank you, counselor. I catch him in class texting his wife, y'all. And that's exactly what we want you to do. This next gentleman is rather shy, but has a kind heart and an open mind. And that's what I love so much about him. One of my favorite iPhone users. Let's give it up for Mr. Samuel Jordan. And he dressed sharp too, y'all. Wait till y'all see him on camera. Congratulations. Any words about the class?
Yes, I started off with an a flip phone back in the late 90s. And until about 2 years ago, I bought an iPhone and was scared to use it.
Scared to use your iPhone?
And I didn't want to go into something and didn't know how to get out of it.
Uh-huh.
And until I started class here, I was told don't be scared. And I was thinking about someone to steal information and stuff like that. But now I have confidence, but I got to learn how to use the iPhone.
Yes. Well, I am so proud of you. He has been taking pictures and texting back there with his best friend, Uncle Jerry. Congratulations, Samuel Jordan. We also have Miss Bobby Key. Miss Bobby is not here with us today, but let's give her a round of applause. Are these all of them? Wait a minute.
There were
Miss
9.
Burnside, did you have one for Miss Burnside?
I don't
Okay,
think
I'll
so.
print it out after. Come on up, Miss Burnside. No, no, wait a minute. I'm supposed to go there. There has to be more.
There were 9.
Oh,
Did I miss one? No, that one was a misprint.
yes, I had 9. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna print them out after class, and I want each one of you to come up, give your name, because you were here more than, you were here for all the courses, so I want you all to come up, each one of you, give your name, and then we're gonna print your certificate, because I know Amber had your names. Come on up. We'll start with you. Give your full name.
My name is Rita Oliver.
Miss Rena Oliver, talk to me about specifically what made you love this class.
Well, I found out that I have a hot spot on my phone.
A hot spot on your
That was
phone.
something I didn't know I had, and I learned about the UPS cord and the desktop and the laptop.
So now, are you going to come back?
Yes.
I want Rena Oliver to come back. One, because of your beautiful spirit, your commitment, and I apologize. I know that Amber had that, but we'll get it taken care of before you leave today.
Okay.
It's a simple print, as you know, with the hardware that we have here. We will make it happen while we have cake.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for Miss Oliver. Come on down. They're watching. No, I'm right here with you. Tell everybody your name and anything you want to share about these past few weeks we spent together.
My name is Evelyn Burnside. I came through by Karen Jones, a good friend. I kept listening to her, and then I did see the graduation from the class.
For our first class.
And I said, oh, that's something I really would like to do. I would like to just go. I like to be busy. I thought that'd be something I would really like to do. So she said, come on down. And I truly enjoyed the time that I spent, but I really planning on coming back the next time. But now I missed some
That's
days
all right.
because I'm involved with a food ministry. So
You're busy. I'm finding that my retirees are busier than when you were working. I'm thinking about retiring, and I'm like, I don't know. You all stay busy.
And I feel good. I am so excited. And you know what? When I leave there, I'm going down here.
Are you in?
I have retired. All my children is grown, and they're on their own, and I just play with my grandbabies.
And
So-
your grandbabies want to play with your smartphone, but we're not going to let them do that anymore.
That I need to, cause see they more advanced than I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yes, show them what
So-
Granny knows now.
See you the next time.
Yes, and we will have your certificate momentarily.
Okay. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up again for cohort number 2, the class of 2021 YWCA of Northwest Indiana. And so now what we are going to do is have cake and fellowship and learn a few more tips about our smartphones so we can take some ussies and selfies before we get out of here. And I just want to thank all of you who have tuned in, family members who have indicated you wanted to see your loved ones. I am going to make sure we post this to YouTube, and I simply ask that you share it all over the place. Bad news travels so quickly, doesn't it? We're going to make some good news go viral today. Again, I've been Chelsea Whittington from CWIT University and your YWCA. Until next time, everybody have a great weekend.
Yay.